Welcome to your practice. My name's Sophie, and today I'll be guiding you through a primal movement yoga, full body yoga class. So we'll have some animal inspired flow and primal animal movements throughout the class that will feel challenging, but hopefully also natural in a way to our bodies. So we will get started on our backs today. So come on down and bend your knees and bring your feet wide and let your knees knock together. And let your hands rest somewhere on your torso that feels comfortable. Take a couple deep breaths. The yoga practice is about building resilience, and resilience isn't about getting stronger or harder, but about learning to pause in the midst of maybe chaos, like pausing in a yoga pose and observing. We build resilience by pausing. Place your hands on your rib cage. And as you inhale, feel the rib cage expand out to the sides. Feel the belly extend forward. And exhale, let it all go. So this is real diaphragmatic breathing. Inhale, fill up the rib cage so it expands out and to the sides and belly forward, and then exhale, soften. Take a couple breaths like that. We build resilience through breath. One more breath, just like that. Now take your arms to a goalpost shape and let your knees knock side to side, windshield wiper. Then bring the knees back to center. Place the feet underneath your knees like you're setting up for bridge, and take your arms down by your sides. Lift your hips up off of the ground, slide your shoulders towards each other. And then point your hands up to the sky. Your elbows stay right where they are. And then slide the palms of your hands underneath your sacrum. So your hands are like supporting your low back, supporting your sacrum. And you rest your hips over your hands. One more breath. And slowly start to release down. Bring your knees into your chest, but keep them wide. And hold on to your outer knees. And rock a little bit side to side and feel how your back of your pelvis is flush to the ground. Then bring your knees into your chest and now give them more of a squeeze in. And we're going to make our way into a forward fold. So we're going to rock up and down until you get into a standing forward fold. So you might only need to do it one time. Maybe use no hands. And you're folding. We'll start with a ragdoll fold. Grab onto the elbows. Take your feet wider. And let's really sway side to side here. Very animal-inspired movement. You can think of an elephant's trunk. Or maybe a sloth hanging upside down. Make a big sway side to side. And switch the grip of your arms so the other arm is in front. And release your hands down to the ground. And turn your toes out more so you can come into a squat. So all the way down into Malasana. And then bring your hands to your heart. But take your elbows off of your knees. So you really have to lengthen your spine and use the strength of your hips and your spine. Good. Take another breath here. And now rest your arms over top of your knees. And just take a twist to the right. It's a little twist. Your arms stay over top of your knees. Lengthen through your spine all the way through the crown of your head. And then switch. Turn and face the left side. Come back to center. Bring your hands down and forward fold. Toes point forward, and now the feet are a little closer. Now we'll stand up and reach the arms all the way up. And lift the left leg up into one-legged Tadasana, one-legged mountain. Take your arms back and your left leg back into airplane warrior 3. And then rise back up to one-legged Tadasana. Inhale. Exhale, warrior 3. Inhale, rise back up. And one more time to airplane warrior 3. Arms back, leg back. And we'll step all the way back to high lunge, then slowly lower the back knee down to the ground. Cactus your arms. Squeeze your shoulders together, keep your core engaged as you lift up and back into a back bend. Reach your arms back up and go into half splits with no hands. So take your arms back into airplane. Draw the shoulder blades back even more. Then plant your left hand down on the ground and reach your right arm up. Let's pause here. What do you feel? Now, keep your left knee where it is, but just bring the foot out to the left a little bit like a kickstand. Lift your right leg up and slowly take it back behind you into a modified side plank. It's like a half moon on our knees. Reach the right arm over your ear. Bring the elbow and knee together, squeeze it in, and inhale, re-extend. Exhale, elbow and knee come together. Inhale, extend. And one more time, squeeze it in and re-extend. Step your right foot to the outer front side of the mat into lizard. Keep your right arm up in your twist. An option to bend the back knee and grab onto your foot. Gently release the foot down. Bring the hands down to the ground. Lift your back knee and step back into one-legged plank. Wild thing, set the right foot behind you. Reach the right arm up. And if it feels okay for your body, turn your chest up to the ceiling even more. Now we're going to stay in wild thing shape and sit all the way down on the hips and face the back of the mat. So your right knee stays bent. Reach for your left foot and fold over your left leg as you hug your right knee in towards the midline. Good, look forward. Bring your hands by your sides. We're going into pyramid pose facing the back of the mat. What I want you to do is bend your left knee so your left foot is flat. Lift your hips up, straighten both legs and fold forward. You might have to step your right foot back a little bit. So yeah, we're gonna be like partially off of the mat here. That's okay, just stay there. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold over the left leg. And then lengthen the spine. And we're gonna go back into the seat that we were just in. So bend your knees, but go really slow. So can you even hover for a minute? Maybe even go through a pistol squat. Can you lift your left leg up? And then sit all the way down. Plant your left hand behind you to face the front of the mat and lift your hips up. Bring it back around to plank and we'll go to downward facing dog. Take a few movements with your legs as our first down dog of practice. And we'll make our way to the front of the mat. You could step, hop, or float. Lift up halfway, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. On your inhale, stand, reach your arms all the way up, and stay here. Lift your right leg up, one-legged Tadasana. Inhale. Exhale, airplane, warrior three. Right leg goes back as you tip forward. Inhale, bring the right leg back up. Exhale, airplane, warrior three. Inhale, let's bring it back up. Exhale, warrior three. Step all the way back to high lunge. Put your back knee down onto the ground. Cactus your arms and find your back bend. Reach the arms back up and half splits, half monkey pose. Arms back, left leg is straight, foot is flexed. Smooth out the breath. And plant your right hand down. Lift your left arm up. Keep your right knee where it is. Bring the foot out to the right like a kickstand. Slowly lift your left leg up and swing it back behind you. Reach the left arm over the ear. Inhale. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend, and we do it one more time. Squeeze it in. Re-extend, and we'll step into lizard. So keep your left arm up, take it straight up, and step your left leg all the way to the front left side of the mat. Let the left knee open to the left. Option to bend your knee and grab onto your foot. Release your foot, bring your hands down, lift your back knee, and step into a one-legged plank. Step your left toes behind you into a wild thing. And you can make it more like a side plank facing the left, or you can have your chest face up to the sky a little bit more. Slowly lower the hips down. So now you're facing the back of the mat and you might be off of your mat, and that's okay. And we'll sit as tall as possible. You might have to bend your right knee a little bit. Reach your hands forward and grab onto your right foot. Lengthen and fold over your your right leg. Hug your left knee in. Then look forward and start to lift up, hands by your sides. Bend your right knee so your right foot plants on the ground. And then start to lift yourself up and stand and fold. You might step your left foot back a little bit for pyramid. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. All right, then we'll start to make our way back into our seat by having both feet facing forward. Start to bend your knees. Slowly sit. Can you squat on your left leg and extend your right leg forward briefly for pistol squat? And if you have a hard time getting your left heel down, this might be a lot harder, and that's okay. Okay, now we'll sit all the way down. Plant the right hand behind us, the right fingertips pointing to the front of the mat. Lift your hips back up into a wild thing. Bring it back around to plank and downward facing dog. Take your right arm by your side. So your right hand is like on your right hip. And then lift your left leg up. So we're balancing on one hand and one foot, opposite hand, opposite foot. Lift your left leg as high as you can. For 3, 2, 1. Put your hand and foot back down. Let's try the other side. Left arm right by your side. Keep your hips lifted in dog and down dog. And then slowly start to lift your right leg up. Focus, balance, lift it high. Put the foot down, put the hand down. Good. And then bring your knees to hover off of the ground. And then shift into plank. Lower down for chaturanga. You can use your knees if you want, but come back up to plank. And then down dog. And bring your knees to hover off the ground like a floating child's pose. Shift into plank, chaturanga, back up to plank, down dog. Now bring the knees down again and shift into plank. Again, you can do chaturanga or you can skip it. Come back up. This time go right to your floating child's pose. And spring into plank, chaturanga, plank, floating child's pose. Just one more, stay with me. Forward, chaturanga, plank, floating child's pose, and downward facing dog. Breathe in through your nose and out of your mouth. Set the knees down on the ground. Sit back on your heels. Bring your hands behind you and lift your knees up. So you stretch the front of the ankles. Some people, they might not lift up. That's okay, just do your best. Maybe you bend your elbows and lean back even more. Then rise back up. Come onto the hands and knees. Tuck your toes. Lift your knees an inch off of the ground. And round your spine for cat. Keep your knees lifted off the ground. Come into cow pose. Inhale, exhale, round for cat. You might want to shift your weight forward a little bit if you're going back too much. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Push away from the ground. And then come back to neutral and downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up to the sky. Bend the knee, open the hip. Step your right foot outside of your right hand, lizard. Slide your left hand over to the left and reach the right arm up. Now, we'll kick the left leg through. Lizard kick through, hold. Here's our transition. We're gonna go to half moon. Let's do it together. Left leg goes back. Put the right hand on the ground in front of the right foot. Left leg extends back. Left arm up. Now we're in half moon, facing the left side. We'll go back to our lizard kick through. Left hand plants on the ground. Right knee bends. Left leg kicks through, right arm lifts up. Got it? Let's do it again. Back into half moon. And let's kick it through. Half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. We're just doing it one more time. Then back to half moon, and we hold half moon. Now put left hand on the ground, both hands down, standing splits. The left knee comes down towards the right ankle. Maybe you put your hands to your heart and then come back into standing splits. And again, Shiva squat, that's what these are called, hands to heart if you want, and standing splits. We'll do one more time. Shiva squat, hands to heart, stay here. Can you extend your left leg all the way down to the ground, and then put your left hand down and lift your right arm up. So we can call this funky lizard. Lower your left hip down, reach your right arm towards your left foot, and lift back up. Inhale, exhale, lower, reach the hand back. Inhale, lift. One more time, lower down. Let's stay here actually, stay here. And If you can, grab onto the foot with your right hand. We're gonna go into a baby grasshopper. So your right toes are facing the front of your mat. You grab onto your right foot with your arm you grab onto your left foot with your arm in front of your right knee. Then you start to lean forward and see if you can lift yourself up. Can we make your way back? Make your way back to standing splits. Lift that left leg all the way up. Step back to low lunge. Put the back knee down onto the ground, and we'll go into half splits again. Slide the right foot forward, and you can walk your hands down. If you have a full split in your practice that feels good, you're welcome to go there. We'll stay for about 3 more breaths. Let your head relax if you're in your half splits. Now we'll make our way into 3-legged dog by putting both hands inside of the right foot. Swing the right leg back, stay there. Tuck your left toes. 3-legged dog. Right leg goes up and back. And then shift into 3-legged plank. Lower all the way down to the ground. Lift up for cobra. Lower back down, tuck your toes, lift your thighs, press up to plank, downward facing dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. Lift your left leg up, bend your knee, open your hip. Step your left foot outside of your left hand. Lizard, slide your right hand to the right and lift your left arm up. Kick your right leg all the way through. Lizard kick through. Hold. And we'll go into our half moon. Right leg goes back, left fingertips down, right arm up, right leg straight back. Yes. And then right hand down. And back to a lizard kick through. I know it's hard, but we are building resilience. Learning to stay. Again, bring it back. Half moon. Right hand down, lizard kick through. And half moon. And we have 1 more. Go for it. So back to half moon. And then both hands down, standing splits. Right knee to left ankle for Shiva squat, maybe hands to heart. Balance, hold. And then back to standing splits. And again, lower, hold. Standing splits. Lower, hold. Maybe keeping your hands off the ground, can you extend your right leg all the way to the right? Then put your hand down and lift your left arm up. You might have to slide your left foot forward a little bit. Funky lizard. Then lower your hips. Left hand faces the right foot. And then lift back up. And again, lower. Left hand faces right foot. Inhale, lift. 1 more time, lower, stay where you are. I'm just gonna turn so you can see me. Now your left hand goes in front of your left leg and grabs onto your foot, your right foot. Your left toes point straight in the line of your eyesight. Plant your right hand down, lift up baby grasshopper. Stay right where you are and baby grasshopper. And make your way to standing splits. Right leg back up. Inhale. Step into low lunge. Put your back knee down and straighten out your left leg for Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits, or Hanumanasana, full splits. Let's pause and go in. Then we'll start to put both hands inside of the left leg. If you're in full splits, go into half splits. Plant the right hand. Plant both hands. Swing your left leg back behind you. Tuck your right toes. Three-legged dog. Inhale. Exhale. Three-legged plank. Inhale. Lower down all the way to the ground. Untuck your toes and lift up for cobra. And child's pose. Knees wide, feet together. Now start to make your way up, and you want to sit back on your heels and bring your knees together. So this next thing we're going to do, I would recommend it only if you have a pretty strong camel pose in your practice and you feel comfortable with the pose. So what we'll do is we'll put the hands on the heels, and we're going to make our way right into camel from here. And if you're like, no way, that's not going to work for my body, do regular camel, where you come up onto your knees and you can go back from there. Okay, so your hands on your heels, press your hips forward and make your way all the way into your back bend. For 3, 2, and 1, we'll come back into child's pose by sitting back and come all the way down. Keep your hands right by your heels as you lower down. Ooh, that's quite a journey. Let's try it again. If you're doing a different thing, do your thing. Okay, ready? We're gonna rise up, hands on your heels, press your hips forward, lift up, back bend, and camel ustrasana. 3, 2, 1. We slowly sit back down and slowly fold back down. Let your arms rest by your sides. Good. From here, let's slowly rise up and take our legs out in front of us. Take them straight out and shake out the legs. Okay, and we'll go into Gomukhasana. So take your right leg on top of your left leg and take your feet wide apart. Gomukhasana, it's cow face pose. You can think of it as like a cow's face or like any animal's face where you have like the line of their nose. And so that visualization helps remind me to take the legs out wide instead of tucking them in. All right, when you're ready, walk your hands down and fold. Or you can stay upright. Now start to rise up, and we're going to switch the fun way, the primal way. So bring your hands over to the left, start to stand up and turn all the way around until your opposite leg is on top. And separate your legs for that cow face shape. Find center, sit tall, and then walk your hands down and fold. Walk your hands back up. We're going to switch sides again. So right hand, or both hands, go to the right, lift your hips up, and then stand and go all the way around. And we're facing forward. Okay, now we're getting dizzy maybe. Take a moment to settle. And your right leg is on top, so I want you to take your left arm up, bring the hand to the back of the head, or the back of the neck. Take your right arm out wide, internally rotate the arm all the way, and then bring it behind you and clasp hands, or bring your hands towards each other. You can grab onto your shirt as well. Take another deep breath in and out. Unwind your arms. Okay, here's the challenge. Can you switch with no hands? So maybe you start to lean forward first, and then you start to turn to the left, stand, still no hands as we go all the way back down. Cool. Reach your right arm up. Bring the hand to the back of the neck. Left arm out to the left first. Internally rotate the arm, then bring it all the way around. Clasp hands. Deep breaths. And then unwind your arms. And just so we're even on both sides, we're going to turn one more time all the way around. Maybe no hands. Lean forward, stand, turn, sit back down. This time, uncross your legs and take them out in front of you for boat pose. And then bring your hands together at your heart. Can you take your legs wide? Lift them higher. And now you can, if you want, grab onto your big toes and see if you can balance here. Balance. You might feel really wobbly. Now can you bring your legs together? Now release your hands. Slowly bring your feet to the ground with total control. Reach your arms up. Sit tall and fold forward. Two more breaths. And start to slowly rise back up. Make your way down onto your back. Bring your knees into your chest. Keep your right knee in your chest. Extend your left leg. And bring your right knee over to the left side for a nice twist. Right arm out to the right. You could stay, or you can extend your right leg and grab onto the foot with the left hand and straighten your left leg, that's the bottom leg, and press through the heel. Then bend your knee, bring it back up to center, and switch legs. Left knee in, right leg long. Bring the left knee over to the right side. Left arm out to the left for your twist. Relax the muscles on the front of your neck. Resilience is learning to soften in any given moment. Option 2, straighten the leg and grab onto the foot with the right hand. And straighten the right leg too. Where are you holding? Where can you let go? If your leg is extended, bend it and bring it up. And bring both knees in. And release your legs down, arms down for Shavasana. A brief Shavasana, yet profound and important nonetheless. Relax your whole body to the earth, your whole body. Begin to reawaken. Invite movement into the fingers and toes, and then your ankles and your wrists. And bend your knees and roll over to one side, pausing there for a moment. Come on up to a seat. Thank you so much for dedicating the last 40 minutes or so to this practice and bringing your energy. I hope you feel great, and if you do, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Let me know what you thought of this flow, and if you want more of these kinds of primal movement flows. Let's bring our palms together, and let's bow together in gratitude for this practice.